Welcome back to Wandering Through Wayne's World. You know, there's some subjects that I've interviewed and know a little bit about, and there's some subjects I really have no clue. And I've always been kind of interested in the bail bonds, the bounty hunter type thing, what it actually is, because you know what? I don't think anybody knows. With me is Lisa Johns Gross. I get it right?
Yes.
Carroll Collins bail bond?
Yes.
Carroll Collins bail bond.
Carroll Collins bail bonds.
Okay. So, what on God's green earth made you get into this industry?
I actually was employed in another business,
Right.
and I needed to work part-time on the days that my office was closed where I was working. And so I knew someone that worked there, and they offered me the opportunity to part-time file clerk there. So that's how I got started. I really knew nothing about it at the time myself.
Okay. How long are you doing it?
1997, I went to work there.
Wow. Okay. Bail bonds. We watch shows like The Bounty Hunter and all this other stuff. And they make the hunt probably the glorified part of the job. But that's not the glorified part of the job, is it?
Not really, no. It's the day-to-day work and bonding people out and, communicating with them and their families and dealing with them until the court case is concluded. That is the actual heart of what we do for the most part.
So really, I guess your job is really trying to help people. Okay, because like we said, bad things happen to good people.
That's exactly right.
And you've been in it long enough to kind of break down the stories of who's kind of like BSing you and who's kind of really just caught up in a situation.
You do eventually get a truth meter about you, I think. That's what I always call it. You kind of get a feel for people after working with them in any type of job for so long, but especially in this type of industry.
Okay, so let's go through the process. I get arrested for whatever. DUI. I got to say that because I don't drink. Okay. And they take me to jail.
Right.
So we know the old saying, all right, you get one phone call, is that it?
Yes.
Who do I call? Do I call you or do I call family?
Sometimes they call the bondsman. Our phone numbers are listed in the cells by the wall. You know, there's a list of all the agencies in the county.
Okay.
So they may take that free phone call to call a bondsman, especially if they have a relationship already established with someone. But most of the time you call your mother, your father, your neighbor, your boss.
Okay. So I call my mom and I tell her what happened. And then she then goes and finds a bail bonds person for me?
Correct.
Okay. So she picks up the phone and calls you. She says, my son got arrested for DUI. The bail to get him out is $5,000. I'm just picking a number. I don't know what it would be.
Right.
But I'm saying $5,000. Okay. What's the next step for her?
She would need to go to a bondsman's office and sign the bail contract and pay the fee, which is in the state of Florida. Any bond under $1,000 is automatically a flat fee of $100. Any bond over $1,000 is automatically 10%. So in her case, it would be a $500 fee to the bail bondsman. And that allows us, she signs the paperwork, and that gives us permission to bond that person. We'd go to the jail and put up the full $5,000 to get him out through an actual bail bond.
Okay, so what's interesting, which I didn't know, which I just learned today, is so that 10%, which is, I guess, the law in Florida,
Right.
okay, is really, you said it, is your fee. That's
Yes.
where your money comes from.
Yeah.
So, because I was thinking, well, if they were found not guilty, whatever, they get the bail money back. But that's really not part of the bail money. That's just your fee to do the bail.
Correct. Now, if they put up a cash bond at the jail, if their family had the full $5,000 themselves and didn't want to lose the 10% to a bail bondsman and could readily afford to do without the $5,000 for however long the case was open,
Right.
then they could go to the jail and put the $5,000 up themselves and wouldn't need a bail bondsman.
And
And
they'd
when
get it.
that case is concluded, at the end of it all, then they would get their $5,000 back. But as long as you involve the outside party to put up the full amount of the bond, you pay that fee, and that is non-refundable.
Okay, so I get out of jail now.
Right.
So she comes to your office, she gives you the $500, she fills out the paperwork,
Yep.
and then what happens after she fills out the paperwork?
Once she's filled out the paperwork and paid the fee, we go to the jail and actually deliver the bond. And then usually within 2-3 hours, it depends on where you're at, which facility you're in, they're released. When they're released, they come back to our office and sign the same paperwork that she signed
Okay.
to complete the entire application and paperwork packet.
Okay. I come there now and I fill out all this paperwork. I sign it. My court date is in a month. I don't know how that works, but my court date's in a month, let's say.
Right.
Do I have to call you? Do I have to keep in touch? How does that work?
Typically, first of all, we contact our clients before their court dates, usually a week to 10 days before their court dates, to remind them that they have court coming.
Okay,
so
cool.
we're making contact with them on a usually monthly basis. Court dates are approximately every 21 to 30 days on the average. So they're making contact with us by phone every 3 to 4 weeks. They're not required to actually appear in our office or come back and see us for any reason unless the bonds are larger. If they're a larger amount bond, then sometimes we require that they check in and they come in and sign in person on a weekly basis.
Okay, so now I'm out. I go to court. Let's just say it gets dismissed.
Right.
I don't ever have to see you again, God forbid.
Correct.
Okay, so you've made your money.
Right.
Okay, I'm now out.
And I get my bond back from the clerks.
Oh, okay.
Showing a bond discharge. So I'm relieved of that liability, whatever, $5,000 in the instance you're describing.
Let's just say that I don't want to go to court and I run away.
Right.
Okay. Do you have a certain amount of time to find me?
We have 60 days to find you from the time you miss court before we actually have to pay the forfeited bond.
Okay.
And then we have approximately 2 years afterwards to find you to recoup some of our monies back.
Okay.
We lose 5% every 90 days the first year. After 2 years, you don't get anything back. So 60 days is the prime amount of time to find them, and then you don't have to come out of pocket to pay the bond. So we try real hard to...
I'm going to guess that on a DUI, that's not going to really happen. I think everybody's going to go to court for the DUI.
Right.
It's the bigger offenses that you...
And the smaller offenses, believe it or not, sometimes they don't go to court for because there's something bigger in the background. Maybe they were on probation already for another offense. Maybe they had another case ongoing in another county. So the DUI, not going to court for that necessarily isn't really why they don't go to court for the DUI. It's the tip of the iceberg. There's more to it. A lot of times when they miss on a small charge like that.
And I would understand that. Okay. So now someone comes to you and they need a bond for a $100,000 bond.
Right.
Okay. Do you make them report to you like every week or?
Correct. Yeah.
Is it every week?
Yes, every week.
Do you know, in stuff like that, because I guess it's kind of like a loan, so you need some collateral.
Correct.
So you come to the mom and the mom puts up her house.
Right.
Can you? Her house is worth $400,000 and she put up $100,000. Can you foreclose on the house even though the house?
You could if you were, forced to pay the $100,000 bond because someone failed to appear in court. Yes.
Okay.
Now the extra that you make off selling the property,
right,
be above and beyond your $100,000 in your expenses, that money would go back to the family. We don't keep the whole $400,000 or whatever it is you might have made off of it.
Okay, you said something very interesting. You hate the hunt.
Yeah, the hunt's not the best part, Getting to know people, hearing their stories, helping them through the process, hoping they do the right thing, going to court each and every time they're asked to until the day their case is over with. That's the part that we like to do, and that's the day-to-day. The hunt is always the least fun.
So the guy with the DUI or the small offense, he goes to court and it's done. Okay. Do they call you and say thank you?
Sometimes they do.
Really?
Yeah. Especially if it's somebody's, I get more phone calls of thanks through people's first time situations because they didn't know which direction to go. We're not attorneys, we don't give legal advice, but we do help them navigate their way sometimes through the process. And here's the phone number you need, maybe you should call this person, maybe they can help. And through the course of their case, and every case and charge is different and the circumstance is different for each person.
Carroll Collins Bond has been around a while.
1961.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it hard? Now, it's a license thing. You have to go to state, you have to take your test, you have to take a course, and you get a license, just like you would for an attorney,
right,
a realtor.
Internship.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, there's got to be something in somebody that makes them want to do this. Because you're dealing with good people that bad things happen to, but you're dealing with bad people that are having more bad.
Right.
Okay? How does that make you feel? Like a guy comes in for a robbery and shooting a gun.
Right.
Okay? That's just a tough thing because now you're going to give...
Nobody at the point that I'm involved with them are convicted of anything. They're only accused. Nobody's convicted at the point that I deal with them until proven guilty. Correct.
Okay. All right. We're at the top of our time. How do people find you if they need you?
They can call our local office, which is 772-461-2245. That's 461-BAIL. Or they could visit us on www.carrollcollinsbailbonds.com.
You know, guys, again, and I hate to repeat it, but I will, bad things happen to good people, okay? And it's always good to have something in the back of your mind ready to go if, God forbid, you have this scenario. Because from the moment you're put in jail to the moment you get out is a nightmare.
True.
The sooner the less research you have to do to get to somebody like Lisa, the quicker you're going to be out the door and free again to take care of your responsibility.
We say we put your feet back on the street.
With that, Lisa, I want to thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Guys, check them out. Really, it's always good to have it in your phone. And we all say nothing's ever going to happen to us, but you just never, ever know.
Never say never.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.